Hi, it's Joy, and today we're watching Criminal Minds Season 17, Episode 5, Conspiracy versus Theory. Which, yep, pretty apt name for for the way this whole season is going. I am stressed because Criminal Minds is never an easy watch, but excited. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go. Oh dear, the car didn't crash then. Obviously, all of the, marshals or whatever I'd want to escape, but...
Any misdemeanor or felony criminal activity committed while in said DOJ custody will render the previous immunity agreement null and void.
We need to make him snap, because then he'll lose his immunity deal. See, I think the best thing to do is to just be doing your normal day-to-day stuff. Like, don't stand there like a welcoming committee, just be sitting at your desk like, oh, is he here?
It's been too long. I just want to say hi. Please?
Surely antagonizing the guy you kidnapped and left to die is a breach of your... I mean, obviously it isn't actually a breach, but for somebody who said, oh, I was in fear for my life and my family's life, that's why I did that with him, you wouldn't act like this. Like, I don't know, can't we just, show that in court? Prove he's a sociopath? See, I think all of them standing there like a greeting party, apart from Rossi, gives him everything he wants. Whereas if they just sat at their desk, like, Rossi can stay in his desk, but if the rest of them just chilled as well, and, like, maybe Emily was there because she's the head of the BAU.
We're in trouble, aren't we?
Well, yes, you have committed a lot of murders.
You too.
Yeah. From what I understand, these were slightly troubled kids who were extremely traumatized, but now they're mass murderers. Or at least serial killers.
You don't tell me I'm benched.
I am not telling you that. I'm saying
She's looking out
it's
for
under
you.
control. And with you've been talking to yourself.
I've talked to myself
Okay.
for years. That's how I profile.
But you always stop when the case is over and...
Okay, so we're saying that he's always seen visions of the killers they're tracking.
Oh, I can, but your plan's idiotic.
Spencer reads a desk.
Damien, he reaches back, and not a lot of showers in solitary.
No, that's not what I mean. It's like you pooped yourself.
Yeah, she's not lying, man. I mean, you reek.
To better understand himself.
To understand he's a monster?
He's not a monster.
He was made that way.
In the movies, sure, but in the book...
Yeah, in the book, Frankenstein isn't the monster.
The doctor that created him is the monster.
He helped shape Goldstar.
Logic to Damien. How could a conspiracy theory create Damien?
A conspiracy could.
You're gonna lose him, Penelope.
I'll risk it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Stop!
Beware, for I am fearless, and there.
Why do I feel like that bum 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 with the fingers was like code, like people are listening or something? I don't know like how much the mic could pick up, but if the mic could pick up him tapping his fingers, I think he's communicating with this guy through a secret code. Voight is not doing that out of the goodness of his heart.
More powerful.
I mean, maybe he is doing it for his immunity deal, but I don't trust him to be content with that.
Giving me the strike team when we talked on your network was one thing.
Surely that is a crime he hasn't been given immunity for. Giving the names of a strike team to some people he knows are going to murder them. Surely that wasn't covered under his immunity deal. Surely we can get him with that one.
Are we gonna do this or not?
He's giving them some kind of message, I swear.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They've got the mugshot, the report. It's bad. How much time before you bench me? As soon as the director finds out? In 24 hours?
Why would they bench her for something she didn't do and that the charges were dropped for? Like, I can completely understand the public media thing. I would probably be reading it myself and being questioning, is this an ACAB that the cops got away with? You would look into it, but then when you're you probably would keep reading and you'd be like, this guy is a crazy well, I'm trying to de-ableist my language. This guy was a sort of unhinged better conspiracy theorist. They knew each other for a long time. She had no blood on her. It was quite clear she hadn't done anything. You would believe that this wasn't the case. But benching her over something that didn't happen is a bit much when they back up people who did do things until their last breath.
Little tap tap tapping he was doing on the desk as they were talking was Morse code.
You didn't stop him.
Well, I wanted to see where he was going to go with it.
I'm glad they were aware of it.
To put him on his... If he were to run,
Fuck.
We can apply 7.
a non-starter. Voight's too great a flight risk. The
Sure.
DOJ's never gonna let him.
The danger with that is if you go for that plan of letting him run. It's not, it's extrajudicial, and I don't actually agree with it. Though with Voight, I would be content to turn a blind eye because we know he's guilty, and he might get away with it regardless. And actually, people probably would be safer than him getting this immunity deal. But the danger is you kind of let him escape, something happens, and he manages to successfully escape, and then he's out there.
Can you do that
Yes.
without fingerprints?
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know that I like all this extrajudicial stuff. Like, with someone like Voight, I do get it, but I don't like it because of the wider picture of what it means for the world.
Shit. I read about that in Dave's book. That's real?
Why? I hate this so much because Zach Guilford is playing this so well that I, like, enjoy Voight, and I hate him so much. We're doing this.
How do you put it in your book, Dave?
Wheels up.
Wheels up.
Ugh. They need to stop giving him these moments where they all stare at him because it gives him the power. So I suppose they're letting him feel the power in the hopes he missteps. I know that, but I'm also like, stop giving it to him.
Actually, I have something to confess.
Hold up. Penelope, start recording.
What on earth? You should have been recording this entire time. He's not about to confess to being Sicarius, for Christ's sake. And even if he was having some weird moment of, like, forgetting himself, he'd remember himself now. Whereas at the very least, you could play some of his cocky, to kind of, I don't know, some of the manner in which he speaks to them isn't the manner of someone who's just a little bit scared for himself. It's the manner of a serial killer that fits the description they have for him.
Continue.
I'm so sorry that I did.
Not a lot of time over the last.
I'm really sorry that I did what I did to you. I didn't mean it.
This moment when you and I would just been so scared. So.
I'm
the
sorry
question is,
that he's
I'm
so.
sorry.
He knows what he's doing.
I'm so.
Let you know on the way home.
Start recording.
I mean, did he not just tell Voight, you're not coming home, right? Like, on the way home, Voight knows what they're planning or thinking of, which could be enough to simply stop Voight attempting to escape.
Don't get smart.
Okay. I'll be on my bench.
Just, I don't think it's going to be as simple as Voight running or the guy turning up and us arresting him. Like, what's going to happen? And North Star has to be some kind of code, or I don't like it. What would be kind of funny would be if the Gold Star people just like shot him from a distance because they were like, he knows too much, we don't like him, like he's wanting to meet, that's creepy. Like if they arranged to like kill him, that would be really funny. Like it wouldn't be funny because murder is never funny, but it would be a little bit funny.
Incoming northbound. It's barreling right towards you.
Oh my god, are they gonna grab him into the van? Shoot the tires! Shoot the tires!
Don't move.
FBI, come out with your hands up!
Oh dear.
Right now!
He communicated to them that it was a trap, North Star, because you don't do this if you're just a little bit suspicious. He was in Lone Star. I mean, make sure Voight, no offense, man who's just a gun dealer, hopefully doesn't have too many lives on his hands from the guns he sold. Keep Voight near him.
We both know that's not happening.
Yo, neither is you setting off this bomb.
On the third try, it goes off.
Well, come on.
That's one.
Oh, it shook all of them, including him.
Two.
Take Voight and go.
Garcia, where are we? Oh, please, please.
Sorry, leave Voight here, for fuck's sake.
Almost. There.
Would she have done it? Or did she want the eyes? Sorry, police, you should be looking for anybody in shady hats and sunglasses walking away.
If I say send it, you send it.
Fucking hell. Voight
Body language
knows.
is tensing up.
Apply 7 pounds of pressure to a 6-pound trigger.
I mean, can you really shoot someone just because they run? In this case, I'll allow it. Yeah. Which, like, if you hadn't given him the warning, he might have run.
She wouldn't detonate that if I said that her tattoos represent.
Apology accepted.
Put this piece of shit in the prison.
None of us saw that. I don't trust this still. Something's up. I don't think Jade and Damien had so simple a plan. Where was Damien this whole time? They're gonna kidnap... They're gonna, like, hijack this prison transport or something. Oh my god. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. If I thought they were gonna kill Voight, I wouldn't be that concerned, but they're gonna free him.
How do we get North Star?
Fuck. He could have told them literally anything. He could have set them after us. He could have done anything. I don't like it.
Anything.
Teresa is in trouble.
It'll mean something to someone somewhere.
Back. You might be in trouble.
Oh, he heard that. He knows what it means, and he needs to tell Emily what it means. He got exactly what he wanted out of this, the piece of shit.
Temporary. You'll be back in the saddle before you know it.
Especially if she didn't do
This is
anything.
happening. It doesn't matter. Ever since I was arrested,
It is
I've
against
sold
the
out
book,
every
yeah.
value I've held dear.
We can't become like Voight.
And-
They need each other.
It's okay.
Mhm. I'm just glad they have each other. So whatever Voight set in motion did not happen in this episode. It will happen in the future. I mean, the fact that we didn't see their conversation, I was initially concerned that they were gonna like speed off in the van and try and like jailbreak him, get him out, but they were just getting the information from him. And someone like Voight, he knew exactly what to say. Now it could be that North Star is a thing that exists, and he is quite happy to let them go off and wreak havoc. It could even be that North Star is another program not unlike Gold Star. But I could also very much see that North Star doesn't exist, but all he has to do is say, oh, well, there are some people who live at these addresses and they're involved, and give them the BAU addresses, or give them, you know, like Morgan's house where he lives. Like, I don't know, like look into like people that matter to the BAU and just to fuck with them. Like, he could do so many things that would cause so many problems. Even just giving them random names and addresses that mean nothing, but sending them off on a wild killing spree that will distract the BAU and give him more time and more leverage to work with on his immunity deal. But like, the scale of what he told them could be minor to huge, and I don't like it, and I don't like that everything is playing into his hands, and I hate how well Zach Guilford is playing him, and I am glad at the end they had Emily acknowledging that she's gone against every single value she has, because as much as I was like, okay, if we shoot Voight, I'll look the other way, I don't necessarily, I don't agree with shooting someone who's unarmed. With someone like Voight, I can understand it, because if he escapes, he will do untold damage, but it's not exactly something you should go in there with the intention of. And if anything, he would have not run because Rossi told him what they were going to do. And even like finding David, Gary, Brian, finding Brian the way she did, it's not right. And the more you cross the line one time because it's okay, and then it becomes easier and easier to cross the line and harder to see where the line is. So I'm glad they had her acknowledging that fact, because even though we as the audience know Emily, we trust Emily, and we know that ultimately she's trying to do the right thing, it doesn't help if you're kind of making doing the wrong thing seem like an okay option. Now, the whole scenes in the park were very frightening, very like, is Voight going to escape? Are they going to escape him? The funny thing would have been if they just shot him because they figured out he was turning on them. That would have been funny, but unfortunately they like to take people's eyes out. Also, I don't know whether or not she would have sent the third message through, because we didn't see her like trying and failing. We just saw her noticing that the phone had gone through. She might have been like, believe me now, right? Because I do think a decent amount of that psychology is they want the eyes, but I also think they are the kind of evil killer people. And you know, they started off as traumatized kids. They are now evil killer people who probably wouldn't mind causing an explosion that killed loads of people. They'd feel shit about not having the eyes, but they'd be okay with the means justifying the ends, and they'd go kill someone else to get some eyes instead. But yeah, the hard her. I don't think much of the security forces, the Iowa police, because like they needed somebody taking pictures of everybody in that crowd. Like they needed somebody keeping an eye on everyone else who was coming into and out of the park. Because even if I know we were looking specifically for 2 people, but it could have been like someone that's working with them could have appeared. They needed somebody filming all of the entries and exits to the park to try and get a picture of who these people were. We could have caught Jade easily. She was right there. Damien just strolled up with a fake badge, or a badge he'd stolen from someone he killed, and then was like, la 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 la. It was too easy for them to get in and out, and no one noticed. No one in the Iowa State Police thought, hey, that guy is walking around. I've never seen him before. I guess they would have assumed he was with the marshals or something, and marshals would have assumed he was with the state police, but I didn't think much of them. Voight with the team is just sickening. That whole man is sickening, and I need this to end with him sat in a prison cell looking down the rest of his life in prison, because that is justice for what he has done. A long life in prison, ending with dying in prison, and then kapoof, nothing, because there is no afterlife. I do not, like, I am someone who, I refuse to believe in capital punishment for the purposes of, if there is even the tiniest chance someone is innocent, how can you ever do that? Even I don't care if it's a minuscule chance. Now, obviously, when it comes to Voight, we know he did it. So in some ways, I would be more okay with him being killed. But I personally think a lifetime in behind bars, wearing the clothes they give you to wear, eating the slop that they give you to eat, doing what they tell you to do, you know, with maybe if you're good, you get a little bit more TV time, but even then it's only what they offer you. You know, that kind of restrictive life is so much worse than just being killed. It is a much worse punishment than enduring that for a while, knowing there is relief at the end of it. And I'm not saying that grim criminals go to die, they're happy about it, but I personally think that is far worse. And when you think about how miserable people were in lockdown, when they were in their own homes with access to whatever food they wanted and whatever TV they wanted and the internet and complete freedom, people, their mental health suffered and they hated it and it was awful. And I'm not trying to minimize those people, even though I was someone who was quite content within my home. They put that on being in prison. That was nothing compared to being in prison. So personally, a happy ending for me will be Voight rotting in jail for the rest of his life. But I won't cry if he gets killed, but I will be like, damn it, he didn't face actual justice. He's got to slip up. And what they need to do is film all these interactions with him to show future juries. Because if he tries to say, like, well, yeah, I know I was on this dark website facilitating with serial killers, but I didn't do anything. And then every time he speaks, he speaks like he's the most manipulative, sadistic serial killer ever. You can maybe look at, yes, it's circumstantial, but it's something. So I guess I'm ultimately glad he ended up back in his cell, but whenever he ends up back in his cell and smiling, he is up to something. He is making sure the pieces fall for him. Like, yes, he is several steps ahead, but that is because he started several steps ahead. Like, if you're playing a board game and you read the rules and you don't let anybody else read the rules of the game, only you know the rules of the game, and then you have the first 5 goes, and then you say, right, let's start, and you still don't let them read the rules, you maybe give them one of the rules but not the rest. Of course you're going to be ahead, and you can sit there all smug like, I'm winning. Well, yes, because you started and you're the only one with the whole rule book. That is the case here. And he's acting like he's so much better than them, but he enabled Gold Star. He helped mold Gold Star, because the whole set, like sharing Frankenstein with them and being like, think about yourself. He is molding them into killers because that's what he really enjoys doing. That's why he did his network, because he enjoys knowing that he's facilitating more killing. And even now, he's continuing to make sure that the plan, like the situation, goes in a way that he can use to his benefit, rather than in a way that he has less and less control over. and he sits there all smug like, I'm so much better than you. Yes, because this is your plan. There's a reason why if you set up a scavenger hunt, you aren't allowed to then compete in the scavenger hunt. You just set it up and let other people do it. He's not as smart as he thinks he is, and if I ever was face to face with him, I'd say, oh my god, you're so smart. No, I would be mildly scared. Like if I was at a convention and they were like, Zach Guilford's there, I'd like to get his autograph, but I'd also be like, I just need to go watch something where I liked him first before that. Okay, Rossi and Emily. Now, I like that they kind of acknowledged him not doing so well, and everyone's noticed him not doing so well. And him saying that has he always done this? He's never mentioned doing this before, has he? Or have I just genuinely forgotten that Rossi has mentioned that he just casually has chats with the serial killers? I suppose in most of the cases, they don't know who the killer is, so it's more like a kind of vague imagining. But even so, is this a long-standing Rossi thing that I'd forgotten about? And I liked at the end that when he was offered the control of the BAU, he was like, I don't know, I don't think so. I don't fully understand why Emily is being benched. I know that obviously it's probably just a PR move, but is it just a PR move? Because if it's just a PR move, then it's not going to be long term, because she didn't do this thing. The charges were dropped. And when you actually look into it, like, if she'd just been beating that man, there would have been some signs on her, like blood, that she had done it, whereas she didn't even get close to him. I don't entirely believe that they would have benched her. Like, they would have maybe benched her pending an investigation, but it would have been a very quick investigation. Whereas, like, cops do far worse, and they stay in the job until the very last minute when they actually like, okay, yes, everyone did watch them commit murder, but they're a really good person with a long-standing service career, is normally how these things go. So I don't entirely understand why Emily is being, like, it's not good press, but when you say, like, she was falsely imprisoned and that is not something we do in our justice system, why would you fire her? I don't know. Things aren't going great. Voight is winning. I'm very stressed. Now, Tyler obviously knew what that message was. It didn't mean anything to Emily, but it did to Tyler, which means that the people, whoever these people are, know about Tyler and his connection, and they knew that he would hear it. Even if they didn't know that he'd hear it immediately, they knew he'd hear it at some point. Or at least Tyler has connections that are also connections with, like, up high in the federal... I don't know. It's all very convoluted, but I'm intrigued to see where it goes next. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.